cream. All right. Fresh from the Giga mine. And I think Reddit, supposedly. Let me get some BGM on here that I won't be sued over. Oh, speaking of old style CRPGs, if you are old and boring and a hermit who lives in a log cabin wizard tower atop a mountain, surrounded by the Everwinter glyphs and wards, if you got mana potions in your fridge, case of the apocalypse, I have the game for you, and it is called Road Warden, and that is the soundtrack we're listening to right now. I've talked about it before, but since it's on topic, the game is Road Warden. If you can read, and you're okay with doing a lot of it, highly recommend it. Isaac Clark, thanks for the Heywoah Enjoyer on YouTube. I appreciate it. TYVM. Well, I didn't come to this stream for content. I came for walkies and for bigness affirmations. Yeah, should I do that? I did a 20-hour video. Well, I didn't. I mean, okay, I actually did, but then SJ collated and uploaded a 20-hour YouTube video because the theme is big, so we should, make big videos. Should I do a bigness affirmation meme YouTube video? Like write a little script to just get the mic real close? That would actually be kind of funny. Anyway, probably not. General's Handbook 2024. Advanced rules. These are cards. Oh, we got big thumb picture takers. In addition to the core rules and the season rules 2024 to 25, this battle pack uses the following advanced rules. Commands terrain magic, army composition, command models, and battle tactics. Boo. The following battle plans have been designed for 1,000 or 2,000 point battles. For 1,000 point battles, play Spearhead. For 2,000 point battles, that's the game. With 8 terrain features. Nice. Each player picks their army. Determine the battle plan. Here we got table 1 and table 2. There are 12. Sure. All right. That's right. Yeah, your computer did it. Through much, really, perseverance, suffering. A Sisyphean task, truly. But your computer did pull it off. It took what, like 16 hours? Players roll off. The winner chooses which player is the attacker and which player is the defender. Next, the defender sets up objectives in the locations indicated by gold circles, okay? Then the defender sets up terrain. For small form mead. Each terrain must be blah blah blah. Alternatively, the player battlefield can be set up as shown in the corresponding battlefield terrain layout map, okay? So the defender sets up terrain, but if they're just following the, I thought it would maybe be on the next page. It's not. If they're just following the outline, that's one thing. If they're putting them wherever, I suppose that's another, but defender sets up terrain. Attacker picks which territory is theirs, and so this is kind of fairness, right? Players then resolve the deployment phase. The attacker begins deployment, okay. So when you win the roll-off, you want to be the one to start deploying, depending on the number of drops you and your opponent have, right? Kind of, it's basically the same thing as it used to be. Last 5 battle rounds, hopefully it actually does now. Each battle plan will describe how to score victory points. At the end of the battle, if one player has at least 5 victory points more, it's a major. If one player has fewer than 5 more, it's a minor victory. Oh, okay. Interesting. A minor victory means you have more points, but it's not 5 more. If they're tied, then the player that completed the most battle tactics wins a minor victory. Boo. If the players are tied on victory points and battle tactics, the battle is a draw. Alright? I have a much better way of resolving this for any Games Workshop people or tournament organizers. If you have more points, you win. If you have the same points, it's a tie. And if you have fewer points, it is a loss. 3 outcomes. It's so easy. You don't have to track battle tactics. You don't have to care about them ever. If you won the game, you won the game. It should be that simple. To me. But you did it twice for about 18 hours each. Jesus. That clarification is for ties in GTs. Okay. Well, ties in GTs are not done very well if that's how it is done. But okay.
Twitch Prime.
Maybe in 5th edition we'll have better tournament structures. Spooky Kabuki 122. Thanks for the big prime. Potentially a new primer. Thanks for liking my stuff. I appreciate it. When you pick a battle tactic, you must reveal your choice to your opponent. If the battle tactic instructs you to pick something, you must... Okay. Sure. On Nowhere Guard, your army can use one of the following. We've read these already. We know these already, right? So... they're cool and good, and it's nice that you get to choose them in deployment. Notice the headings. Big. Anything you can choose in deployment is much better than choosing it on your army list. This is actually a big deal, because if you can choose stuff during deployment, it acts as kind of a sideboard. And the more sideboard options you have, the less harsh rock, paper, scissors, conceivably, the game might be. Anyway, good. I want to see more of this kind of stuff, but great work implementing it. Anyway, these 3 are great. We read about them before. They're cool. Some of them, I don't know, might not be useful, but that's why you have a choice. Silver bullets, one of the things about choosing it in deployment and sideboarding and stuff, is that it takes every silver bullet in the game that is useless because you can't ever choose it, because it has such a small chance of mattering over the course of every game. Suddenly those are good. Suddenly they're just good because you can simply choose it in the one match that it will matter. It fixes it, like fixes the game. I'm surprised they haven't done that. Anyway, Spooky Kabuki, I guess I could have just followed you on Twitch instead. Isaac, hey, no problem. Thanks for liking my stuff. Oh, a double subscriber. This guy subscribed on Twitch and YouTube. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Double subber. We've gone over the battle tactics for each of the Grand Alliances before, but I'll just briefly touch on them and after we talk about the universal ones. So we got Do Not Waver. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if 2 or more friendly units fought and no friendly units died. Good. We can do this. Charge with 2 units, right? We can do this. This is doable. Especially for armies that can simply activate both of them, like Lumineth. Or armies that have strikes first or strikes last rules, for instance. Even if you don't, you can probably set up combats where you probably will fight and not die. Note that you don't exactly have to kill the enemy, it just helps in your quest to not die, right? Nick Dagliz, thanks for becoming a Heywoah enjoyer on YouTube. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Take their land. Pick a train feature wholly or partially within enemy territory and wholly outside friendly. Oh, you just control it. Alright. Ahem. Have a fast flying unit. Receive points. Got it. Slay the entourage. Pick a unit in the enemy's general's regiment. You complete this battle tactic if you kill it. Easy. Seize the sentry. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if 2 or more friendly units are within 3 of the center and are not in combat. Your opponent can do something or other to mess this one up now. A lot of the ways that I'm looking at battle tactics now are with the understanding that your opponent has a lot more stuff they can do on your turn now. Imagine a seize the center when your opponent has the command points to countercharge. Might mess it up. Redeploy as well, you know. A lot of the somebody said it in chat. Yeah, a lot of these might seem like slam dunks, but they will be harder in 4th ed. I think I agree. Do we never take the first turn now with these battle tactics? You never took the first turn basically ever. Anyway, first turn is a terrible turn to take for the most part. Pretty much throughout the whole game. Yeah. In general, the first turn is a terrible, bad turn to have. Most people are trying to outdrop their opponent so they can give trash like first turn away to somebody else. The only exception is Alpha Strike. Like in 1st edition, before you could become Battleshock immune on turn 1, you would go for an Alpha Strike or a Alpha Bunker or maybe a pin strategy or something, but that's generally less common. You know, rule of thumb is you don't want to go first. A lot of these battle tactics, if you manage to somehow do them on turn 1, they're like, please punish me for overextending the battle tactic, right? Attack on 2 fronts. Historically hasn't worked out so well. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if you control 2 or more objectives that you did not control at the start of your turn. At least one of those objectives was controlled by your opponent at the start of the turn. Okay. Kind of tricky. We'll see how this one works out. Ahem. Take the flanks. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if you have at least 1 friendly unit within 6 of each short battlefield edge. None of those are wholly within enemy. And none of those were set up this turn. Short battlefield edge. Go to absolute no man's land. None of them are in enemy territory, or friendly, sorry. So a 1-2 punch is maybe like take the flanks and then take their land, and that would be like the turn 2, turn 3 for some random Flappy Boy unit, possibly. Otherwise, it asks you to get as out of position as you could almost possibly be, which is a big ask, right? And that's universal. Everybody gets those. This is what we have to work with. Ahem, pardon me. You feel like these should really be based off battle plan and not generic? Yes, I agree. I've been saying that since Battle Tactics first came out. I felt that they should not be Army, they should not be Grand Alliance, they should not be core game. Battle Tactics should just be part of a battle plan. Simple as, I think. But it's just me. Anyway, order Battle Tactics. Reclaim the realms. Do you think they'll phase out Slanesh chariots? I don't know. If they do phase out Slanesh chariots, then the amount of libel Games Workshop will be for injury lawsuits putting that sharp-ass razor blade thing together will drop, and then probably, I don't know, they might even break even from not selling the thing. They're so dangerous to put together. Reclaim the realms. You complete this battle attack at the end of your turn if there are one or more friendly units wholly within each quarter of the battlefield and more than 6 for all minions. This is probably the most win more battle tactic on the whole list among everyone. This shit is, like, if you have truly tabled your opponent, by the time it gets to battle round 5, you just auto-accomplish this if you still have enough guys left. But that's about the only situation I think you can manage to do this one. Super win more, right? Ahem. Slay the tyrants. You complete this battle attack at the end of your turn if the enemy hero was slain. Okay. It's got to be a combat attack. But yeah, kill a hero. Alright, free points. Thanks a lot. Thanks for playing. So we have one that is impossible unless you've just giga won the game. And then we have absolute freedom. Like, kill a hero on a turn that you're planning on killing that hero. Alright. Free money. Chaos. Offering of Carnegie Hall. You complete this battle attack at the end of your turn if you charged with 2 or more guys. I mean, it's not even charge, it's actually just 2 or more enemy units were destroyed this turn. But yeah, charge with 2 guys, get victory points. Ordained charge. Pick an objective controlled by your opponent. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if 2 or more friendly units charged, and 1 or more of those units contesting, and you control it. So, yeah, the chaos ones are fairly straightforward. Charge with 2 guys, kill 2 guys, get points. Charge with 2 guys on an objective, kill 1 guy, get points. So consider attacking people on points. Do we have the rest of them? Maybe I stopped at order and I shouldn't have. Do we have the rest of them? I guess we don't in this document. But I was just kind of going over them for chat. We've already looked at all 4. I posted them. They're on Giga. They're on Twitter. Don't worry about it. Long story short, destruction and death follow a pretty similar thing to these. There's one kind of hard one, or one that's win more, and then one that's like super easy. One of the destruction ones is have a unit that entered combat and didn't die, and now it's your turn and your guy's still alive, then win the fight. Easy. As long as you have a single unit in your whole army that's not a glass cannon, which might be hard, but anyway, there it is. And then the other one is perform an alpha strike with Kragnos in your army and hugely overextend in battle round 1, because probably can't set it up otherwise, with the requiring you to start wholly and end up wholly out, and then flip a coin to either instantly win the game or hang yourself. So yeah, right. And then both of the death ones looked pretty easy. So it kind of follows. It generally, there's an easy one and a hard one. They're not created equal between the Grand Alliances, but I didn't expect them to be. Although they probably should be, but whatever. The first one doesn't require charging. No, you just need to win 2 fights for the first one in Chaos, yeah. Charging is actively required in the other one. You've been watching Spearhead, you might be underestimating how pillowy combat is now. I hope that's true once we are able to choose the units we put in our army. You know, we'll see. I'm giving you my haven't played the game because it's not out yet take, right? And I'm trying to move it away from thinking in the 3rd edition, but I suppose it's hard to. Yeah. But they did say they take attack profiles away from big models in Spearhead. Example is Carnosaur, same stats, but 1 less weapon. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll just have to see. Right. Anyway, Border War, nice and easy to set up. The classic. Thumb. Oh, what's the twist? I didn't know that Shyamalan wrote these battle plans. Victory points scored by each player from controlling objectives are capped at a maximum of 6 per turn. Add 1 to hit rolls for units in the underdog's army if they charge this turn and are contesting the objective wholly within their enemy territory. Should be probably apostrophe S maybe for ownership, but that's fine. Twist is for the whole game. Twist is for the whole game. Victory points scored by each player from controlling objectives is capped at a maximum of 6 per turn. Each player scores victory points in the following way. 1 if you control the objective wholly within friendly. 2 for each one on the border. 5 if you control the one in enemy territory. And 4 if you completed the battle tactic you chose to attempt this turn. So if you have the one on your side and the one on their side, that's 6. And so it doesn't matter if you have these other two. I mean, it does for the purposes of the game. It's just you won't be scoring the points for it. Sorry, noob, thanks. No, it's fine. As a new person, what you should be doing in general is asking questions that can help you learn more. That's your purview. That makes complete sense to me. It doesn't not make sense. I got focal points. Oh, what's the twist? At the start of each battle round, after determining which player is the underdog in, and before players use any start of battle round abilities, the underdog can change the central objective to be a home objective or flank objective until the start of the next battle round. So you can change the central to be a home or a flank. Does that mean score 3? Okay, so it doesn't mean move it, it just means change its type. It is considered a flank objective for purposes of, I guess, these points over here. Nice, okay. That's a strong effect. You know, being the underdog is really good. It's very strong. They did the stairs. So, how many times do we need to teach you this lesson, old man? Don't ever do this. Just take a piece of red string, right? You got it in your tool bag. Put one way up here. Put one down here. There it is. Make it a line. We don't need to use pixels. Big, huge Tetris pixels. Just have it be a line. Having this kind of deployment increases the time it takes to do the deployment phase by really a meaningfully large amount.
Twitch Prime.
Please stop. Please stop doing this. I beg you. I beg you. Damn. I like how it says 2018. Because this is the greatest hits, right? GD Panda, thanks for the big prime for 40 months. Looking forward to the return of the waifus. I will do it. The waifus will be returning, have no fear. I've just been really busy. Apologies. Anyway, thanks for the prime. If you still need these forbidden power spells or the 3rd edition or the 3rd Screaming Bell Plague Furnace. Need is a harsh word. Deployment might be faster in AOS 4, no. Could be. But don't ever do this. Please. Please stop. If this were a digital game, if this was a video game, you could do the goofiest deployments you want. But because this game is played in real life, it should always be a straight line. It can be any angle you want. It can be the weirdest, goofiest angle ever, but it should just be a straight line. There are only so many ways to do a straight line. Correct. Which means there are only so many ways that you can make the differential between attack territory and defender territory up here on the table. However, there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of knobs that you can turn. There's a lot of knobs you can turn for making battle plans different, and some of them are more feasible than others with the understanding that you're playing in reality, and I think this is one of them. Any knob turners in chat? Your first game of Sigmar was Stairs deployment and it took a million years to set up? Yes. Is there a new edition or something? There 'tis. Coming in like a month. Under a month. 4th edition. It's looking great. Yeah, it's looking very good. Star Straiku. Start the first battle round after determining the first player. Active player must set up one objective in the boundary between both players' territories. Start of the third. Determining the active player. The active player must set up one in each. Determine the location of each. You roll. If it will be set up wholly or partially, do not do so. Instead, inflict d6 more damage on each unit wholly or partially on that terrain feature. If an objective would be set up wholly or partially on a terrain feature, do not do so. Instead, inflict d6 more damage on each unit wholly or partially on that terrain feature. And then just don't. Dude, if we arrange terrain on the table how they tell us to with 8 pieces of terrain, this game might have like no objectives. This is going to be weird. Interesting. Hey, alright. This is probably going to be like everyone's least favorite one. It sounds goofy, and it sounds like not being able to put the objectives down. That's a choice. That's a fascinating choice. Shifting ob. Okay. Little shifter. Start of each battle round after determining the active player must roll d3 to determine which objective is the primary and which is the secondary. Underdog can make the active player re-roll the dice to determine which objective. Okay. Underdog can make the active player re-roll the dice. Alright. Switch it in hot swats all over the place. And then Feral Foray. At the start of the battle round, each player can raid an objective. They control an enemy territory. An objective that has been raided cannot be contested or controlled this battle round. Underdog can raid an objective in enemy territory that they contest but do not control. Okay. Blow it up right under him. An objective that has been raided cannot be contested or controlled this battle round, but it does come back. It's not permanent. Yeah, these deployment zones are very small. You know, one of the destruction GAs is start wholly within your territory and then make 3 charge rolls into combat with enemy units that are wholly within, I think, enemy territory. Maybe it's wholly outside of your territory, which is still hard, but possible. I'd have to look it up. I bet it's wholly outside of your territory. No way would they write a battle tactic that has you take 3 units and leap all the way over here somehow. Maybe. I don't know. They made things a lot slower, though. The Jaws of Gillette. Hey, alright. Look at this goofy ass shit. What's the twist? From the second battle round at the end of their turn, after scoring victory points, the underdog can pick one objective. The objective is removed from play. Simply removed. That's very strong. 3 fight actions, so even if you make the charge, it's still not guaranteed. Yeah, and really the hardest part is you have to start wholly within your territory on all of them. And so it's very much something that you have to do early game. Like, your opponent has to sort of walk right into it to allow you to try. I don't like that one, but there's plenty of them enough to do that if you have one real stinker in your GA, I don't think it's like crippling or anything. You get 6 that seem, you know, fairly doable. Your opponent's going to be able to mess with them a lot more, but they're not just like, you know, throw the game away, flip the coin, you know, anything like that. Battle for the pass. Underdog can add 2 to the control scores of friendly non-hero units. Okay. Mega Gargants, BTFO. What's a non-hero unit? Scorched Earth. Yo, Scorched Earth. From the second battle round at the end of their turn after scoring victory points, the active player can pick one objective that is wholly within enemy territory, and they can burn it. And it is removed. At the start of each battle round, the underdog can pick one objective in their territory that they control. Until the end of the battle round, they can subtract 5 from the control scores of enemy units contesting that to a minimum of 1. Interesting. I like burning and smashing stuff. So good work there. The better part of Vala. Each time an enemy unit contesting an objective is destroyed by a fight ability used by a friendly non-hero unit contesting the same objective, the friendly unit gains the dominant keyword. Okay. If that friendly unit stops contesting, it is no longer dominant. True. Add 10 to the control score of dominant units. This is like Bolweir Intimidators in Magic. Cowards can't block warriors. Target creature is a coward. Add 1 hit rolls made by units in the underdog's army for the combat attacks that target a dominant unit. Hey, good work. The Vice. Alright, we got like a screen test for a VR game. Align the circles. At the start of the second battle round, after determining which player is the active player must remove the 4 starting objectives. Simply remove them. Set up a new objective at each of the next locations at the start of the 4th. After determining which player, remove all of them, and then it becomes 1. The One, starring Jet Li. At the end of their turn, the underdog can pick one objective and inflict D3 mortal damage on each unit contesting that objective. Are you sure you don't want to have it work by rolling a D3 and on a 2-up it works? And finally, close to the chest. Oof. Twist. At the start of each turn, the player that is not the active player must pick one objective in their territory to be the primary objective until the start of the next turn. In their territory, okay. Prime. At the start of their turn, after the opponent has picked the primary objective, the underdog can roll a die 5 up. Opponent must pick a different objective. Okay. Hey, alright. Red 3, I'm locking on plasma torpedoes launched, yeah. And then, of course, limited resources. When a player gains control of an objective, they start to extract resources. Oh, Vespian gas. Let's go. Finally, we're getting some RTS shit in here. Good. In 5th edition AOS, I want to build a gold mine and a bunch of extra farms for more unit production. Please give me science upgrades as well. I need those. After scoring victory points, if the active player controls an objective that they controlled at the start of their previous turn, if you keep it, they have extracted all the resources from that objective. You have... For the rest of the battle, the player cannot control that objective. Oh, you have all the pylons, huh? Okay. Once a player has extracted all the resources from an objective, they can still contest it to prevent their opponent from controlling it, but they do not and cannot control it themselves. The underdog can add 3 to the control scores of friendly units that are contesting an objective from which they are extracting resources. Okay. Do the Helldiver Big Slurp mission. One of my favorites. When it doesn't bug out. Only if the Command & Conquer 1 soundtrack is played the whole time? True. Buy a 4-pack of farms, only $89.99. Yeah. And I once thought, how could RTSs get any less fun if you had to micro-purchase every single part of the game constantly? And you had to stop playing it unless you paid money all the time. That being said, I'm very looking forward to mining Vespian gas, constructing pylons, building gold mines, all that shit. I actually think that that's cool, and I want more of that type of thing in AOS battle plans. For 5th edition, maybe we build little bases and stuff. Yeah, I drink your milkshake. Hey, cool. The GHB looks kind of nice. A lot of really annoying setup for deployment. Don't like that. Battle tactics, don't like them. Let's see. The victory conditions being 5 possible outcomes that you have to care about number of battle tactics scored instead of just 3 is wrong and worse. And a headache. And not particularly representative of anything. Kind of a waste of time. But the honor guard rules are cool. So, hey, I'm looking forward to this GHB. Good work. Is there other, I'm checking real quick to see if there's a leak too.